November 11th, 2023. Also, it's Veterans Day, and then it's also called Armistice Day, which was a day that was celebrating the end of World War I and signing a peace treaty. And I don't really know much about the history of everything that happened around that time. And I'm not even really sure about the year. I have an idea, but I don't want to say it for fear of being wrong. So I did watch a lot of the History Channel when I was a younger person, but it's been a long time. So, and I've been kind of seeing some of the headlines that are coming out of, that are being produced and show up in my social media, about the war that's currently going on, and also about, protests that are going on in other countries calling for ceasefires, and then protests about the protests and how, shouldn't protest on Armistice Day. And then protesters are saying that it's a great day to protest. It's a day of celebrating peace. So calling for a ceasefire on Armistice Day makes exactly the right sense. It's in the right spirit, all this. Yeah. So, and I'm just in my own sort of detached reality from pretty much the entire ordeal, the human tragedy, as it unfolds. And I don't have much to say about it. And about the only thing I can do is just acknowledge it and have it be a part of my active awareness, as much as what that might ever matter. It's like it's okay to have an opinion, and it doesn't have to be the agreed upon massively popular opinion, because almost nothing that a lot of things I believe in or hold to be true or value, it's not always exactly the popular opinion. But I don't really seem to be that bothered about it. None of this is about being popular. This is just about creating my own, personal record of my life. And if people want to watch along, that is okay. Though sometimes I have my doubts, because people that stumble across this channel, and I don't know how they find it, what decides how this gets shown to anybody, and why would they think to watch it? I guess it's because it's there and they're curious. But unfortunately for a lot of people, I'm not doing what they expect. Perhaps I can't really speak for anybody else because I have no idea how anybody else thinks. But I think that I'm not really doing what I'm supposed to be doing, as far as creating content for YouTube, a massive media platform for other people's educational or entertainment or informative needs, or and I'm just talking to myself. I've been doing that for a while, and the channel has slowly had some people decide on their own to subscribe, but I don't think very many of those people that did at some point subscribe watch on a regular basis or anything like that. It might just be like the check in every so often, see what's going on. Is he still doing that same stuff that he was? Yes, he's still doing that same stuff. Yes, and I'm still doing okay, but I don't have any sort of I don't think real following or niche or community or anything like that, and I don't really plan on growing one, because I don't feel that I personally have the capacity to handle or manage or give any sort of online community sort of thing. I have trouble when more than a few people comment on my videos or shorts. It's like, because then I have to think about what they might have seen or thought based on their comment, and then try to address it, because a lot of people, what they see in a video, that might be the only impression they've ever, that's their first impression and only impression, and they're making a judgment or evaluation based on that one thought, that one moment, that 1 minute even, and they come up with a judgment, a verdict, a conviction, and so it's like, I don't even know if I should reply at all, based on how they say what they say, or if I should try to, broaden their sense to see if they are okay or safe, of a person to respond to. Because there are a lot of people that have strong feelings, and I don't know who they are or where they come from, or their background, because everybody's got a story. And some people, it's like, I'm probably better off just leaving them be. And because people, they want what they want, and I am not what people want. You run across one of my shorts, and I'm probably not exactly what a lot of people were expecting or wanting, and I might be just a surprise. And because people are people that watch, a lot of my audience, it's not a representative sample of the entire human population. It's a representative sample of the people who watch shorts on YouTube's social media platform. So not everybody watch shorts, and I don't know what the demographics are, but I just think about how other people who are autistic and are, who have a different cognitive experience of reality, and perhaps some emotional separation from that reality, is another way to call it mental illness, which I've never been officially diagnosed with anything, though I imagine I probably could be or would be if I ever sought help with any of it, and probably would be, suggested a whole host of help. And it's like, no, I'm dealing with reality probably about the best I ever can, and probably better than what I ever used to. So help it's appreciated, but I'm already doing well enough without assistance, and I don't want to muck about with it and mess with the brain chemistry, because it's already kind of puttering along the best that it can, and I don't want to take any chances on messing around with the equilibrium of it. So on a recent installment of one of my shorts, I got more attention than I had expected or wanted, especially on that particular short. It's like, really, that's the short that's going to get so much attention? Just all of a sudden, it's like, did I name it the wrong thing? Was it a funny thumbnail? And I was like, and I did feel the need to do a little bit of damage control, which I didn't like. Having to feel like I had to explain myself or defend myself, or make it clear, because in a minute's time I can't explain everything that's going on for me in my entire life and history. I'm just speaking what's going on in my mind for that particular minute of what's been happening for me in the recent couple hours. So that's the mood, just capturing a mood. And people might not appreciate that. They might come across as being, argumentative or complaining or whining about whatever situation it is. And it's like, I'm just documenting and making my own observations. And so it's like later, when I think about it, it's like, oh yeah, that thing that happened. And it's like, yeah, it doesn't bother me. But, it's like, this is one of my ways of decompressing, defragmenting, or sorting things out and, kind of archiving them away for future analysis or letting go. This is like part of my process of organizing and then, sorting and a lot of times forgetting. There's just some things that I just don't need to actively remember on a day-to-day basis because it doesn't help me to. And so I can place them somewhere. And if I want to look at them later, they're there. And I still remember them, but I don't have to think about them. They don't have to haunt me. So some of the comments I got early on other videos, that same thing. People stumbled across something and they didn't understand it, so they attacked instead of, approaching with curiosity or, they just, I'm not for everyone, and I'm not supposed to be. But people just make a judgment, and it is whatever, I'm not trying to live up to their standard or live up to their expectations of whatever social construct that has been assigned to me based on where I live and what I look like. So my station in life, my assigned station. So as far as like growing the channel, it's like really, it's about as big as I probably can, at least as far as I can even think about right now. It's the channel is about as big as what I can probably manage. About, at 100 people, if it gets to 100 people over the course of the next year, which it probably will, and over the next year probably will get to 100 subscribers. That'll probably be enough. And if it gets much bigger, and any of the videos start getting more attention, I might have to create an alternate channel and just go back to naming things as the day's date, where I don't talk about what's going on in the video. I don't try to make it a clever title. I don't worry about the thumbnails. I could just make a black screen thumbnail for all of them or something. I don't know. But to try to, go more cloak and dagger behind the scenes, I haven't decided. But sometimes the videos do get more attention than what I would like, and it's because I don't get to choose. It's like I just create the videos, and I have no idea how they're promoted by the system. Which ones get attention and which ones don't. Because it's like the one from yesterday was a simple thank you to people that might be watching and get something out of it and enjoy or appreciate. And I just think that's cool, because it's a bonus for me. And that video, sending out a positive message, hardly any, it didn't get any, I guess it was not promoted. Whereas the video that was a little bit before that, where I was not in a great mood and I was upset, that got attention. And that, it's like, dang it, because that was not my best foot forward for making a first impression. So and that's what people saw, and that's what they see. It's like I don't take the videos down. I thought about it. I was like, uh-oh, this video is getting a lot of attention, and I saw it as it was happening, and I was like, uh-oh, should I take it down? It's getting negative attention. You know, people were giving it a lot of dislikes, and I can see that. And it's like, I don't like to admit to it, but it's like, you know, yeah, quite a number of dislikes. It was about a 50-50 split. And I just imagine it's their first impression and only impression, and they have no idea what they're seeing, but they don't like it, and they don't want to see any more, ever. And that's probably okay, because, so, it's a little sad, and it's a little, you know, but in light of Veterans Day, Armistice Day, all of my problems are nothing in comparison to what's going on elsewhere in the world. And that's, I guess, the most important thing that I'm trying to say right now. I get distracted. I get easily overwhelmed by my own situation, that it is hard for me to think outside of myself and feel and participate in the rest of the world. And that can create some sort of like I'm just a selfish individual, only concerned by my own petty troubles. And maybe that's just, there's a grain of truth. But, and I might not like it, but, you know, I guess it's just how it is sometimes. You just forget the bigger picture. But I think everybody does that. I just think that a lot of people don't, they're much more forgiving of themselves than they are of other people when they see it. And they're more critical. And people don't like when they see in others what they feel in themselves. So it's like, if I see somebody's behavior and I'm like, I don't like that. It's like, probably because I don't like that in myself. It's to some degree. I'm not sure. I guess in other topics, you know, I have mentioned Barbara in the recent couple months. My 90-year-old friend from recovery groups who I met early on in my first couple months of being here in this location. And she's been a part of my life ever since. So, you know, we both have 7 years in recovery. Except she got started when she was 83, and I got started when I was 37. And she's now 90, and I'm now 45. And she has now stopped going to meetings because, and that's where I would only see her, basically. And it's just difficult for her to move around and everything. So, but she didn't want to lose contact with me, and I didn't want to lose contact with her, so I still check on her. And you know, we've recently been starting to go out on just a day of the week, not even on the same day we used to go to a meeting together, but going out for a meal, like a breakfast or a brunch or lunch. And yesterday, I called her after work and asked if she wanted to go out. And we ended up going out, drove down to, you know, about 20 miles away, went out to an international house of pancakes, which I really enjoy. And I asked, you know, if she had any place she wanted to go, and she at first wanted to go to this little local diner. And we'd already been there the time before. And I was like, well, I was thinking we could go someplace a little bit farther, you know, which gives us a time for like private conversation on the road. And so we did that, and it was good, except when we got there, it was late enough in the morning that it was very crowded and very loud, and I hadn't expected that. I was thinking it would be, you know, more empty, because usually when I'm there by myself, or I'm traveling by myself, I go to places early enough that I'm outside of their rush. And so it was a little bit hectic, but still it was a little bit of an adventure. And I like to think that because she doesn't have that much going on in her social life as far as like activities and things like that. So me taking her out on a little driving adventure, was a little bit different, and gave her something to do, and it gave me something to do. Because I don't have my own real social circle of people that I can actually call and then go do things with. I don't have my own social circle of people that I can call and go do things with. Yeah, that's kind of just how it is. And it's kind of something I think about trying to work on, but I don't. And but it's, like I say, it's a work in progress, life in progress. And just because things are the way they are now doesn't mean that they have to be, or they always be, always are going to be. I can make changes and work on things. So it's just up to me to decide, and then how to go about doing so. But there's no guarantees in anything. Just because I decide on something doesn't mean that it's therefore going to then happen. And what I expect to happen will happen. And it's like, no, I can just put myself out there, my best foot forward, and whatever ends up happening happens. And it's not like placing the responsibility on other people to then therefore react or want what I'm to participate. So because most people have their own lives and families and social circles and friends and things like that, and I just don't fit in. I don't belong. And I get that. I kind of distanced myself from society a long time ago, and I haven't found my way really, or wanted to find my way really back into it. It's like, people like me, but I just don't have, it's complicated, I guess. But I'm trying to think of something else. Oh, yeah. And as far as writing a response to a particular person who wrote a very, it was a very nice, detailed, thorough comment on a recent video. And I was writing back, and I don't know exactly how, like, my hands are on the keyboard, and it happened once before. I was replying to a different comment to the same person, and somehow, because there's a touch screen here, and I think when I'm writing, if my hands are in a certain way, it's like I might accidentally move the cursor as I'm typing, and if it goes off field and I accidentally tap, it taps off field, and then that comment window goes away. And then if I try to get back to it, it's gone. It's like, wait. And then yesterday when it happened again, I was like, wait a second, this happened before, and I, lost it on the screen, and tried to, it's like, wait a second, is it in the tabs somewhere? Because I've got lots of tabs open at all times almost. And I lost it then, and I lost it yesterday too. And I couldn't find it. It was just gone, just because I clicked off field or something happened. And then I couldn't remember exactly what I wrote. As I write, it's written. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to remember it because it's written down. And I'd written. It was really, I really liked it. And then I can only remember the beginning of it again. And I'm trying to like retrace my thoughts. And yeah, I cannot reconstruct. And also, it's like that was a mood I was writing in, and that mood is now changed. A day has passed, and for me, that can be like a long time. So, and then I also have to to try again to write the same or write a response, because I can't write the same response, but to write a response that I feel good about. It could take a little while, to really take in the message and think about what it means and respond in kind. And because I want to, but I don't know exactly what to say or how to say it. I did the one time, and it's like, but now trying again. So I just pretty much need to read it again and then just sit down and just write whatever I think about it, because that's what I do, and that's the best. I think the best approach is just write what I think about it in that whatever particular moment or instance that I am in, and that's the best I can do. And I think that's all it's wanted. And maybe I'm just overthinking it. I'm probably overthinking it, but it's just I really appreciate it. That level of, somebody took the time to really, write all that. And I think that's great. And so it's like the least I can do is to respond back. And even the people, going back to some other comments, that just write single sentence attacks. I can intentionally misunderstand their single line and then try to represent myself with some sort of class or style to defend myself without becoming argumentative and feeding into probably a not safe space. So I have to become more diplomatic where I'm responding, and I might not be happy with what I'm responding to, but I can be tactful about it. And it has nothing to do with being right. It's about respect. And it's like, I want to be respected for having a right to be here and doing what I'm doing and saying whatever it is I say. But then I also have to extend that same respect outward and give that to other people, that they have a right to watch if they want, and then respond with whatever their perspective is. And I cannot, other people have their whole perspective based on their own life story and experience. And they see me, and I can't tell them they're not wrong. They're just as right to be right and just as right to be wrong as I am. I am allowed to be right. I'm also allowed to be wrong. And I try to pick my battles carefully these days because I don't have the ability or attention span to fight all those battles. So a lot of times I just have to let them go. And sometimes words hurt, but that is the least of my problems when there's so many other things going on. And other causes and crusades and campaigns and wars. So anyway, approaching 30 minutes, and I just wanted to acknowledge the crisis that's going on. But there's always a crisis going on. That doesn't make it any less worse or bad. It's just there's always something going on somewhere in the world, and there's just not enough time. Anyway, I should go.